Pennsylvania's state system of higher education. 14 universities, infinite opportunities.
Hi, I'm Chancellor Karen Whitney, and today we're going to talk about the cultural opportunities that enrich a student's success at our universities. We're joined today by a wonderful set of panelists, and let me go ahead and introduce them to you. Nicole Rayfield is director of the Keystone Honors Academy at Cheney University. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning.
And we're joined by Meghan Sowersby, a junior communications major at Cheney University. Good morning, Meghan.
Good morning.
And finally, we're joined by Corinne Gibson, Director of the Office for Inclusive Excellence at Slippery Rock University. Good morning, Corinne.
Good morning, Chancellor.
Well, let's jump into this important topic. Meghan, tell us a little more about yourself.
I am a junior at Cheyney University, like you said. I'm from Pennsylvania, Delaware County, which is close to my school. Very involved on campus. And I am a member of the Keystone Honors Academy. Ms. Rayfield is actually one of the reasons that I attend Cheney University now. So she snatched me out. I was going to go to Temple, and she found me the summer before I was going to be enrolled. And she told me about Cheney and the opportunities it had, and I couldn't say no. So I've had the opportunity to do a lot of great things.
Well, we're glad you said yes.
Yeah.
Nicole, tell us about Cheney's Keystone Honors Academy.
It's definitely one of my favorite subjects to talk about. The Academy is the catalyst at the university for enhanced scholarly curriculum as well as program offerings. It represents 119 students, such as Meghan, who are high-achieving students, and they're given the opportunity to not only have a great curriculum offered to them through their major, but to enhance that curriculum through special cultural, professional development, and study abroad opportunities, many of which Meghan has taken advantage of. The Academy offers several different types of programming for different students' interests. We also are a scholarship. So many of our students are fully funded for all 4 years of their education. Most of our Academy members graduate in 3 years. The average GPA of the Academy is 3.7, and they're very competitive students. So one of the benchmarks of the program is that when you come into Keystone, you know that you're going to be in an environment where you're going to be nurtured. And whatever your decision is to, in terms of your career, in terms of what your personal goals are, you have people there that are going to help you reach those goals. And you're surrounded with colleagues and peers that are equally invested in doing well at the university.
Oh, wow, that's terrific. Hey, Corinne, how does the Office for Inclusive Excellence support cultural opportunities at Slippery Rock?
Well, thankfully, the Office for Inclusive Excellence also entails and includes the Women's Center, the Pride Center, and the Veterans Center. In that, we're able to do many of our campus-wide programs that provide multicultural awareness for our students. So that is one way that we're able to do that.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and go visit Lock Haven University.
I think liberal arts will still have its role to play that it always has, which is to provide a broad-based education, whether it's delivered in a traditional gen ed model or otherwise, preparing students to be able to deal with this level of complexity, to be able to problem solve across disciplines, to be able to collaborate with each other.
There's a good philosopher, he's at the University of Virginia right now, who's a motorcycle mechanic. He wrote a book called Shop Class is Soulcraft, where he talks about how all people need to have some kind of a background in the liberal arts.
At LHU, we recently revised the general education curriculum to give students more choices. We opened up a number of electives. Our old model was sort of subject-based. And so I got my sociology class, I got my English class. If we can think of it in terms more multidisciplinary, more problem-based, and to bring to bear the full range of what the liberal arts empowers us to do, then I think our students will be ready for entry in the 21st century workforce.
We think we're desperate for mechanics and welders and truck drivers, and we may very well be. But we're also, since we are a self-regulated society, we're also desperate for philosophy majors. We're also desperate for people who study the classics. We're also desperate for people who speak more than one language. And this is what the general education is about. broadening your horizons, crafting yourself. You have to craft yourself if you're going to be ruling yourself. You have to make yourself a much stronger person.
Our students don't always understand the concept and the importance of general education, but I think once they're done, they have a good appreciation for it because they do kind of come out much more well-rounded, and they are very versatile, and they have the ability to adapt to situations that they might not like.
We just had a major of ours, a sociology major, who was also a computer science major, and he was thankful that he majored also in sociology because it helps him to communicate. And he immediately got a job with Rayathon in State College, largely because of his social skills.
Coming from a liberal arts discipline as an English professor, you know, one of the things that has been amazing to me, and we're trying to market our department, is to think about what our alumni have done. The understanding of complex networks, the understanding of interdisciplinary applications has enabled many of our alumni to create their own fields. You know, so when I think about benefits of liberal arts education to the Commonwealth as a whole, it's the foundation piece for innovation.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about how cultural opportunities enrich the college life experience for our students. Corinne, let me ask you a question. How does Slippery Rock make students aware of cultural opportunities on campus?
Well, thankfully, the office is located within the Student Center, and in there, it's really the hub for all things student activities. So that is definitely intentional in making sure that we're able to reach a majority of our students. Also, we utilize social media, as many are already doing, tweeting out different facts of the day. SRU students is another way in which we connect with our students across campus, both on and off.
Oh, that's terrific. Thank you. Hey, Nicole, cultural opportunities are woven into the first-year experience at Cheney. Can you tell us some more about that?
Certainly. So our first-year experience students are divided in cohorts based on their major or their interests at the time of application. And as part of their curriculum, they're provided with opportunities outside of the classroom so that they can be able to make connections back to the material they're learning in the classroom. For example, this term, they're reading a book by economist Peter Temin, who will actually have on campus to come speak to the students directly. So they're able to make those kinds of connections across the curriculum as well as meeting the people that are driving what they're learning. For example, this author. Additionally, other departments that are outside of their major may have opportunities for them to partake in. So for example, our art department may decide to do a project where they're highlighting something about a character in a book that the students are reading. So we try to help the students see that what they're learning as part of their FYE class is not just in that class, it's actually across the curriculum, and it's something that they can participate in multiple ways. One of the things that we do twice a year is we have a speech contest where the students, whatever book they're reading for that term, they have to write a speech and deliver it, and it's a cash prize, and it's really exciting. So those are some of the activities that we do as part of FYE. And we have a dedicated group of staff that actually work directly with the students in the classroom and outside of the classroom.
Wow, that's some really great ways to achieve what I call some deep learning there. Wow,
Absolutely.
That's terrific. Well, Megan, let me ask you, what are some of your experiences at Cheney in what we're talking about here today?
I've had multiple cultural experiences at Cheney, on campus and off campus. The learning that we do on campus is very useful and applicable in study abroad, in conferences, in different business programs. On campus, I've been able to speak with poets, authors, casts of television shows, scholars, political activists, if you name it, I've had FaceTime with that person on my campus as well. And because I am a Cheney student and an honors student, I was actually able to study abroad at the end of my freshman year, sponsored by the PASHI system, and go to Spain and hike something called El Camino de Santiago. So that was another wonderful cultural experience I was able to take back to my campus and really apply in my studies and in my interactions with peers.
Wow, that would be terrific. What an outstanding experience. Well, let's see, in terms of other cultural opportunities, what advice do you have for students who maybe there's a culture that's not their culture and going? How would you encourage somebody to reach out and have that experience?
I would encourage students to first and foremost do your research. And I say that because you should do your research on yourself first. When I was studying abroad in England, which I was able to do last summer, we took a class on intercultural communication. And the first thing we did was look at our personal biases, look at our culture, look at ourselves as Americans, as students of color. And because of that new perspective, we were able to then approach different cultures from a different platform. And it allowed for open dialogue, it allowed for exploration of cultures. And so because of that, it gives you the confidence to then go out and tackle that culture and eat the food and learn the language and experience what they experience.
Well, that had to have been a transformative experience for you.
Very transformative.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, now we're going to take a quick break and go visit Mansfield University.
Initially, our thought was that, being a small school, we don't have very many students that are interested in doing semester abroad and things like that. And there, at the time, a few years ago, there weren't really very many options for students to do short-term study abroad. And for a fair number of students, taking a semester and doing something is pretty difficult, but taking a couple weeks over the summer to do some traveling or things like that is more viable. But in a relatively short period of time, we were able to kind of put together a number of people that we could talk to. Academics, government officials, people like that.
We got, an educational background, but we also got all these amazing experiences. We went ziplining, we went snorkeling with stingrays that were coming within inches of you, and it was all based on comfortability. So if you weren't comfortable with it, you didn't have to do it, but if it was something that you were I might not ever get this chance again, and you would do it. And we had a couple girls who were afraid of heights and afraid of aquatic animals like that, and we all were supporting them, and they ended up facing those fears and doing it, and it was a really great experience for them. I think they really got a lot out of it. I know that I did as well.
We jumped right into things. We started touring Mayan ruins right away. That was the first thing we did right off the plane. We did a lot of learning about Belize, the country, because most people have no idea where it's at, what it is, if it's a country at all. So when we got down there, it was a culture shock. It was very different, but I thought it was just so much fun. People were so relaxed and cool. They call it Belizean time, which means you can be late, nobody cares.
The first few times that we did the trip, it was Mansfield students only, and we only had 14 students. And then this opportunity came up to do the PASHI honors trip, and that was going to be 24 students or so. But they were all honor students, so the scale of it was bigger than we were used to. Every time we've done the trip, we learn a lot more each time. We always meet new people, we always change some things about the trip. We feel much more confident in our ability to take a group of students and things. So the PASHI trip, the challenge there was, can we do this for more than 14 students? It turns out the answer was yes, which I guess is a good thing.
And so I use this experience as a great, topic to talk about and just to tell other people about my experience and how fortunate I am to have an experience like this coming from a small school. And, not a lot of students get to travel abroad in their undergrad.
Third world countries and countries that are growing and developing, that's where you can make a difference in political science. So I think that would be just an awesome place to go down, and I really, really enjoyed the experience.
I think the students that go on the trip always remember the other students that went on the trip. And although there may be some rocky patches here and there, I think they remain longtime friends because they shared a pretty intense experience.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about how cultural opportunities enrich a college student's experience. Well, Megan, let's continue talking. First of all, congratulations on being selected as one of 10 students in the nation for the inaugural Frederick Douglass Global Fellowship. Gosh, how did this honor help you expand your cultural opportunities abroad?
This honor was, this fellowship was a wonderful way for me to expand my perspective and the perspective of my peers in terms of global awareness especially. I was able to travel with 10 students nationally selected from minority-serving institutions through the University of Pennsylvania's new Center for Minority-Serving Institutions and the Center on International Educational Exchange. And so we traveled in the namesake of Frederick Douglass, and we followed in his footsteps. We studied what he studied. He actually traveled to England when he was liberated, so we did the same journey that he did, except in the 21st century and as college students. It was an amazing way for me to build my confidence as a global leader and also to learn practices and values that I could instill on my campus, particularly how to apply to study abroad and also how to make yourself a competitive candidate for study abroad. Because a lot of students want these opportunities, but they don't know how to pursue them. And so being able to both apply to the program and then get accepted, experience it, and see what kind of qualities are in a competitive applicant for study abroad was a great skill for me to have for now and for the future. So, and I was also able to do a lot of extracurricular traveling while I was over there. So I can say that I've been to 5 countries in 1 week.
Wow.
So while I was there, we were able to take trips to Northern Ireland and France and the Netherlands, and that just bolstered my cultural experience and furthered what I was learning. So it was awesome.
Wow, that's terrific. Let me ask Corinne a question. Can you tell us about the new and unique way Slippery Rock is providing cultural learning opportunities to students at Slippery Rock?
Well, surely. In that, we are also doing some study abroad for our first-year students, and it's offered through the Office for Inclusive Excellence. And what's unique about it is that any student from any major can go. And so in that, we choose an opportunity that provides human rights and diversity is our theme whenever we go to the various countries. So this is our 5th year in doing this, and many students that may not have traveled before are able to participate, and through that, not waiting until perhaps it's offered through their class or offered through another venue on campus. So it's open to any students on campus. But our marketing is normally to our first-year students, our underrepresented students, as well as our students that participate in our first-year program, Jumpstart.
Wow, what an important mission. Wow, that's very exciting. Thank you. Thanks. Nicole, let me ask you, Cheney often brings global experiences back to campus. Can you tell us about the cultural programs and activities that the Keystone Honors Academy sponsors?
Certainly. We have a wide array of speakers and experiences that we want to expose our students to. So in the past, we've had Tavis Smiley, Maya Angelou before she passed. I wasn't at the university at that time, but that was a remarkable experience. Filmmaker Spike Lee. Recently, last term, we had Sonia Sanchez. We had the 2016 Poet Laureate, Yolanda Wisher, on our campus. Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright Charles Fuller joined us for Black History Month last year. And moving forward into 2018, we are looking to bring an African-American female astronaut to campus. Wow. And so what we do is we survey our students and try to get a sense of what type of person they want to meet, they want to be inspired by, they want to have a motivational conversation with. And then we outreach to several people and try to find a good fit for our campus. And so we're always looking to see how we can tie in the interest of the major and the curriculum with someone in real life doing what that student wants to do, or beyond what they could even imagine to do. And so Megan's example of being able to study abroad and some of the other things that she has experienced, as well as our other KHA students, those all came about exposure. So the more we can have a student see someone doing something and being involved in something that is consistent with what they would like to do, the better the chance that they're going to actually move forward in that path.
Boy, that is some very much high-impact learning and some transformative opportunities there for
Absolutely.
sure. Hey, let's go ahead and take a break and go visit Indiana University.
I think broadening horizons is one of the hardest things that you have to do transitioning from military to civilian world. What a lot of people don't understand is that in the military, it's completely authoritative. They teach you to only do things one way, the same way. Nobody has different views. You're not allowed to have different views. You can't do things differently. And so transitioning from the military, from that leadership style and that culture, and coming to a university where there's tons of different types of people who have different opinions and different backgrounds and different ways of doing things, that's a very hard transition for a veteran. And I think that's something that a lot of veterans struggle with, whether they go to college or not, and that's why a lot of veterans actually fail to transition to civilian world, is because we don't really take them and show them that, so can transition from that authoritative style into this diverse culture. IUP is a phenomenal school, and I've had a lot of great opportunities to meet great people. One of the biggest things in my proudest accomplishments is I had the opportunity to create a philanthropy organization here at college, and I was able to create an organization that provides students with opportunities to give back to veterans in the local community. So one of our biggest projects that we did last semester was the Homeless Heroes Stocking Project, and it's ran by Team RWB and the Veterans Leadership Program. Kristen Squires, she's a student here and also very involved in the community. She was the head of it and organized it all, but MPO took it upon ourselves to raise as much money as we could to donate to homeless veterans. And what we did is we solicited donations on GoFundMe through our families and our community and our followers, and we were able to raise $1,300 on our GoFundMe. And we also went out and leveraged our partnerships with churches in the community as well. And with them, we were able to raise about $3,500, and I think I know we raised about 225 stockings, which contain winter supplies to give to homeless veterans to help them get through the winter. And what was really great is that, with the money we raised, we bought all these supplies, we went out and we got them, and we took them to a central location. And the community was there, other student organizations was there, part of the church was there, and MPO members were there, and we had all the supplies set on tables, and the students, the members of MPO were able to come see where the money went to, but also why it's important that these homeless veterans get these supplies, and they're able to get involved in stuffing the stockings, which is really important, because when they went home and take away from it, they look back and they really realize the importance of how veterans are struggling right now and what they're going to have to endure through the winter. And they're very motivated actually after the event too. It sparked a lot of interest, and now people want to take it to the next level and get more student organizations involved. And so I took advantage of the opportunity, and because of my passion for this country and my love for my brothers and sisters who are serving their country every day, I put the two and two together and create something that's really doing great things here at IUP.
Welcome back. We're talking today about how cultural opportunities enrich the college student experience for our students. Nicole, let me ask you, why is it important for all students to be involved in cultural opportunities?
I think that the main reason, or the primary reason, that it's important that all students are involved in cultural activities is because we live in a world today where our neighbor is not just the person next to us. Because of technology, we are able to reach out across oceans, across miles, and live in a competitive environment, not only educationally, but globally in every aspect of the word. And so we have to prepare our students to be able to go out and work with people that don't look like the people back home where they come from. They have to be able to be supervised by folks, to supervise folks, to collaborate, to engage, to disagree, to unite with a vast majority of folks that do not look like their family. And so I think that the more we can expose students to different cultures, and even to understanding more about their own culture and the nuances of being African American or being Caucasian or being Asian, whatever that may mean, the more we're going to have an opportunity for students to engage in meaningful change, meaningful dialect. And so these study abroad opportunities, these speakers that we bring forward, These are all chances for students to decide that they want to learn more. They can do more, they can know more, they can be better than previous generations.
Completely agree. Let me ask, Corinne, how do these opportunities, in your view, support a student's academic and professional development?
Absolutely. With the Office for Inclusive Excellence, we are part of the Academic and Student Affairs Division. And in that, we collaborate very much so with many of our faculty across campus. In that, we provide a true collaboration wherein the content of the program is based around the content of the curriculum as well. One of the instances is when we have done many of our Black History Month programs, as well as our social justice programs. We've worked with the Gender Studies Department, as well as the psychology, criminology, and social work. And in that, we're able to meet together to create something that will be able to provide not only a curriculum requirement, but also provide students with some life experience, some experiential learning within the actual program. So not just a speaker, but where we do a lot of roundtables, where we provide students the opportunity to do small dialogues with each other. We find that once they start to talk with each other in small groups, they're able to then apply their learning much better, as opposed to just listening to a speaker at all times. So changing it up a little bit, giving them an opportunity to do both, is definitely something that's been able to help us to provide very good cultural opportunities, both in and out of the classroom.
That's very powerful. Well, Megan, I'm going to give you the last word. How do you plan to expand on your cultural experiences going forward in your life?
I plan on basing my cultural experiences on the rest of my career. The Keystone Honors Academy and Cheyney University has invested in me, and it's shown me how impactful it can be when somebody in authority, somebody with the ability to, and somebody with the drive and dedication to help you can really invest in your life and the impact that it can make on you. So I would like to do the same thing on a global scale. I would like to pursue my degree in public policy and international affairs, see how I can use that to maneuver in diplomacy or even human rights activity within the United States. Following the completion of my undergraduate degree, I would like to join the Peace Corps, use my minor in Spanish that I am currently acquiring, and learn community development skills and that kind of thing. The important service skills required to have a successful career in that field.
Is there anywhere in particular you're hoping to go to with the Peace Corps?
Sure. I would like to go to either the Great Lakes region in Africa or Costa Rica. So those are my two primary locations right now. So whatever I do in those realms, I want to use that for international affairs.
Well, I know whatever you do, you will make Cheyney proud, because I'm so pleased to hear about your exciting life and what you've been doing. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you all for viewing today. Thank you, panelists, for a great conversation. And thank you for learning more about how our cultural opportunities contribute to a successful college experience.
Come back next week to learn more of the infinite opportunities at the state system's 14 universities, or visit us online.